Hello there, Dawn here from Tranquility through Life's Natural Beauty channel. Today I thought it would be fun to answer 10 questions set by Tara from the channel TomGirlCity, and the link to that channel is in the description below. Do go along and say hello. The first question Tara set: 3 things I like about myself. Number 1, I like to think I'm a happy, fun person most of the time, and that I share my joy with others. And as you know from my videos, my lives on my main channel, New Beginnings, my everyday life in rural Cyprus, I always share jokes every single episode to show that even if you're feeling down, I hope I can bring you up at least for a time to forget your troubles. So that's number 1. Number 2 of 3 things I like about myself: I think I'm community spirited and I have a big interest in people, each person as an individual, and I'm interested in people's life and their stories. So community minded, if you like, and interested in people. Number 3, what do I like about yourself? I like that I chose this location and property. I like that I made a good choice. So I live in rural Cyprus, up a mountainside, and including me and my husband Mike, there are only 6 people who live in a vast region of this area, this Cypriot village, which is an abandoned village in Cyprus. Question 2. What singers did you grow up on? And it says try and think of 5. Well, a lot of the music I grew up on was obviously my parents' records. I used to play them when I was little. The old 78s, the big hard, I think they were like Bakelite or something, but they're hard record disc. So I know a lot of old tunes and music because of that. And obviously my first music as a teenager, that was Bay City Rollers. I loved the Bay City Rollers. That was my first, what wasn't called boy bands in those days, but Bay City Rollers. So we'll say that's 1. I like Tommy Steele. I grew up with, and he was a tap dancer as well, which people may not know. And I loved musicals, and he did Half a Sixpence was a thing, so he was a singer as well. Kind of the start of rock and roll, perhaps, so we'll say Tommy Steele. Other music. For me personally, as I got older and was really into music properly rather than just teenage years, one of my favourite all-time bands is ELO, Electric Light Orchestra. And there's not a single one of those that I don't like. So we'll say ELO. I need 2 more. I like any disco. I really love disco. Let's say Bee Gees. Again, because I like most of their songs, and they were one of the main influences of disco era, particularly as they wrote all the music for Saturday Night Fever, which was all about disco. So let's pick those. And number 5, let's say ABBA, because they were very controversial at the time. If you liked ABBA in ABBA era, you was actually looked on as like, okay, you're a bit nerdy or whatever. But now they're so popular. And again, I love the new musicals they made of Mamma Mia and things like that. So we'll just pick those 5 because there's very specific reasons rather than being 5 bits of bands or music that I like more. Question 3. Try and give 3 answers. What are you afraid of? Truthfully, number 1, Mike dying and leaving me to cope on my own. As I say, I live very rurally. I don't drive. and there's no neighbours. And here you have to drive for absolutely everything, so you have to go and buy your gas tanks. Nothing's delivered here. You have to go and collect your post, which for us is an hour away. So I really would be cut off. I can't go in banks at the moment, so I can't go and get money. So let's say that is something that's in the back of my mind at all times. And because of that, Mike did actually say, should we not live here initially? But why have a sort of lower quality of life for many years when I could easily die first? So definitely that. What am I afraid of? I'm afraid of animals that can bite and kill you. There's that, obviously. I'm not afraid of snakes per se, and we have snakes here. If they're not dangerous and they run away, they're fine. We do have one very poisonous one that you cannot see. It's big, but it's very camouflage. So that's a fear factor. And I've got to find a third one. What am I afraid of? I'm afraid of the world, how it is turning out now, that it's all gone haywire completely. So I'm afraid of that it's become so you're allowed to do what you like in some respects, and the justice system, particularly in England, people can commit many crimes and nothing is done. They're let off, particularly high profile people. So I'm afraid of that kind of situation, that the world has gone out of control. Question 4. If you could go back to your teenage years, what year would you, or age group would you go to? That's really easy for me. I can't remember precisely the age I was. It was probably around 18, pre-18. I think just pre-18. I was at stage school, and Fame was out then. It was very popular. It had just come out as a TV series and a film, and I was living that true life of Fame because I was at stage school and we were wearing the leg warmers, and what you saw on Fame, yes, it really did happen, where we would go across the road to Kentucky Fried Chicken lunchtime, and they would have, I've said this before, a silver barrier where the queue would go round, and we would put our leg up on it and do stretches and all that just for fun, to show we go to the stage school across the road and this is real life Fame. And I was doing big stage shows and shows in London and all these things, and yes, that most definitely was my top time of my life. Question 5. Name 2 things, cartoons you watched as a child. Well, if you see me on my main channel, I often wear Muttley, who was Dastardly and Muttley. I don't like Dastardly, and I don't like the other cartoons he was in, but the actual character of Muttley, I love Muttley. I've got a Muttley egg cup. Muttley's a dog. He sort of laughs and goes I just love Muttley for Muttley. Danger Mouse I've always liked. I don't know if you guys know Danger Mouse. I like Danger Mouse. And Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo's fun. And I actually named one of my tiny Yorkshire Terriers Scrappy-Doo, who I think was the nephew of Scooby-Doo. But I love Scooby-Doo. That's pretty cool. That was 3, but never mind. Number 6, a weird habit you have. Ooh, weird habit. I've noticed recently in my lives on my main channel that I say so at the beginning of nearly every sentence. So come and look at my garden. So come and see how we've converted our old derelict donkey stable. So this is what's happening today. I just noticed I've said so all the time. I'm going to try and change that to Lipon, which is so in Greek, because we speak Cypriot and Greek here. So I'm just going to start trying to say Lipon. And people will be like, what's that you keep saying? It's so. So I'll say that for my weird habit. Number 7, favourite food. Food is food, yum. Obviously more desserts. Desserts has got to be top. Any dessert practically. I like ice creams, cakes. I just like puddings. I love butterscotch. Oh, I love butterscotch. You can't get butterscotch here. There's Angel Delight, which I think Americans call dessert whip or something, or instant dessert, something like that. You can get a butterscotch flavour of that, but just butterscotch, tart butterscotch. I like cream, thick cream, anything with thick cream. So any desserts or puddings, sweets, I like sweets, those kind of things. I love cocktails, creamy cocktails, if that counts as food. I love Mexican, I love Italian food. I don't like Indian. That's the only. I love spices and chili and garlic. I don't like curries at all, and no Indian food. I think there must be some spice in that I don't like. Number 8, who inspires you to keep going in life? Anyone who is like me, has a serious medical condition, doesn't keep on about it and just gets on with life. So I like the people who have a condition but you wouldn't know it. Let's say that. They're inspiring. It's like people give to charity. If you're going to keep saying, I give to charity, well, that's great and I appreciate that. But it's these famous people that don't get a photo opportunity out of giving to charity. So the people who in the future when they died, you hear what they've done and it's amazing. So people are the same. What you do behind the scenes and keep to yourself but to help is my inspiration, rather than putting it out there or being miserable with what you've been dealt. Question 9, your favourite colour? I like purples and blues. I like bright blues. I like turquoise. I like vibrant colours. I like UV, the purple of that, and pretty coloured lights. So I like rainbows, ultraviolet colours, anything like that. But if I have to pick a colour, blue. Question 10, try and answer 3 different things, your favourite childhood memory. Whereas I've already said, being at stage school, just being on stage. I am actually a sort of shy, quiet person, and people say they're too afraid to go on stage. But let me tell you, when you're on a massive stage, as long as you know what you're doing, so be prepared with what you're performing or saying, and then it's fine, and practice beforehand obviously. But once you're on stage, you can't see the audience unless you're doing some amateur thing. Of course you will, and that's more daunting. But when you're on a proper West End stage or a London stage with all the lights and everything, the house lights are down in the audience, the stage lights are bright in your face, you can't see anyone. So head up, look out, and just get on with it. So childhood memories, every show that I've done. I've done TV work as well and things like that, so I'm going to link that into that. My birthday parties and my Christmases as a child. That's the one thing I really appreciate my mum for. They were wonderful. I've spoken about these so many times, that she made my parties so much fun, and they were organised, but organised in a good way, and she made the whole birthday special. We could have whatever we wanted lunchtime, and my party would always actually be on my actual birthday, so that felt special. And Christmases, as I've said before, one of my choices, you could either have lots of little presents or 1 or 2 big presents, because you had a limit of price. And I always said, don't mind, but I always wanted a board game, and we would play that on Christmas Day. So birthdays and Christmases, let's link that as one thing. And holidays, I would say for my third thing, holidays. We never went abroad as a child. My mum wouldn't go abroad. She didn't like to fly, which I love. and obviously that was something, we would go different places each time, and often we would go to Pontins, which is like a holiday centre, if you like, all round England. It used to be, there's not so many now, and it was entertainment free and competitions and really great for families. It's not as it was, it used to be really great. And I would say Pontins, I wanted to be a blue coat, which is the name of the entertainer workers there. And so for me, Pontins holidays more than any other sort of holidays. So that's my 10 questions that Tara from TomGirlCity set. Maybe you'd like to do them as well. If you do them, film them and send them to Tara's channel. I'm sure if you go on her channel, she'll give you the link to where to send them to her channel. And I really enjoyed doing those. I did actually go on one of her lives and she asked me questions there. Things such as, if you had the choice between A and B, which would you do? And there was some really interesting questions there. So if you like answering questions, maybe ask her what those were, or go and look at the live, see if you can see me up on screen on one of her lives. And it's really great. So do go out there, do support these smaller channels. I like to do it. If you're a small channel, do contact me and let me know. I've done many collaboration questions and other activities for collaborations. And look up Project Morph. It's not on this channel, it's on my main channel. And if you go on New Beginnings, My Everyday Life in Rural Cyprus, I've got a playlist called Project Morph, and it's how I can make a video all about your channel if you do a video for Project Morph. So thanks Tara again for the questions. Love your lives, and to everyone else, have a positive, productive day. Bye for now.